Hello, you wonderful human. Welcome to this Yin Yoga practice. Today, we're going to keep it really nice and grounding. So it's a beautiful practice if you feel like life's just been a bit chaotic, if you feel quite busy, if you feel unsettled, or maybe you just want a moment to really root, to ground and recenter in yourself. So today we will use a few props. You might have props like these, but there's always alternatives that you can use that are right in your home. So if you have a bolster, a meditation cushion and a blanket, wonderful. If you don't, any blanket, any jumper, something to keep you warm at the end of practice, and then a cushion or two. It could be a pillow from your bed, it could be a cushion from the sofa. Whatever it might be, it's just there to really help us feel a little more supported. But again, not necessary. If you have them, wonderful. We'll get started today in a moment of meditation. Now you can take your meditation seated. And if you have a cushion, coming to sit on top. So just placing it underneath the sit bones. Crossing the legs, drawing the knees down and taking a nice tall seat through the spine. So thinking a little bit of lengthening through the spine, and the hands can settle somewhere on the body, perhaps the legs, rooted and grounded in this posture. Or if maybe you sit a lot in your day, it's quite nice to take your meditation lying down. So we can move the props out the way. You could have your legs extended, or even soles of the feet to the earth, knees knocking in. The hands can place on the body. And wherever you've decided to be today, let's close down the eyes. In these first few moments of practice, as always, are just a little bit of time and space for you to start to settle in to this more yin-like energy. A slower, more settled way of being. We release this need to shift, to move, to do, and settle into our being. We give ourselves time to settle in. And in this space that we start to create, just through stillness, starting to drop into the act of noticing. Noticing what it is to be here in this moment, and we can do that through drawing our awareness to sensation. So I want to invite you to start to notice the sensation of the areas of the body that are in contact with the earth. Noticing how strong, stable, and supportive they are. Inviting you to release any need to feel like you need to hold on to things, to be tense, to be tight. We already invite this idea of softening. And this can be done on the outside of the body, but it's also something that we can start to do simply through the power of the mind, through our awareness. So as our eyes are closed, drawing your awareness to the different sensations in the body. In our practice of yin, we want to release this idea of good and bad. If you feel any pinchy, sharp pain, of course we move away from that. But a yin practice isn't easy. Staying in things, staying in postures is not easy. Releasing is not easy. But it is so powerful and grounding when we allow ourselves to release and drop into the here and now. So just observing anything that's going on in the body, and then beginning to connect to your breath. Noticing that sensation in the body as you breathe. And that could be noticing how when the body, and that could be as you inhale, noticing how the body expands and makes space. And how as you exhale, the body softens as this gentle essence of coming back together. And it's this gentle rise and fall, undulation of the body as you breathe. And we don't even really have to do anything. Our body will breathe, it will do this process regardless. It's an invitation to release that need to control and to just be here, to settle into this bigger picture. So perhaps inviting the breath to become a little longer, a little slower, and a little deeper. Imagining that the breath starts down from the earth beneath the body. As you inhale, it travels up through the body, the belly expands, the breath rises. And as we exhale, it travels back down the body, through the bottom of the body and back into the earth. And taking a few rounds of this, visualizing that transmission of the breath from the earth into the body, and from the body back into the earth. If you're seated, just staying as you are. If you're lying down, perhaps giving yourself a big old stretch here, and gradually finding your way up to a seat. Softly opening the eyes wherever you are. Our first yin posture of today is one of our only standing yin postures. It is our dangling. So it is as it sounds. We draw the feet about hip width, and we're just going to hang forwards, the arms coming towards the earth, and perhaps your arms don't reach that far or far enough to touch the earth, and that's okay. We're going to take a hold of the elbows anyway, taking a soft little bend into the legs, and we're just going to settle in here. Now with each posture we come into, I'll take you in with a breath and out with a breath. So once you settle into stillness, let's take an inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Closing down the eyes if they aren't already, we begin to settle in. And as you arrive in this posture, seeing what you can notice. Perhaps it's a weighty, grounding sensation through the feet. And in this posture, we're doing the opposite to which gravity does to our spine in the day. Here, we use gravity to lengthen, to make space in between each vertebrae of the spine. So allow the arms, the head to be heavy. And in these postures, the mind might wander every so often. And that's okay. Every time it wanders, we simply notice and draw the awareness back to a sensation in the body. And maybe some sensations arise that you're less familiar with or normally move away from, perhaps a little tingling in the legs, in the arms, in the head. And we're really trying to release this idea of good and bad that is just sensation. And drawing the awareness to the breath. Feeling the body expand, maybe noticing where it expands as you inhale. And inviting a little more softness as you exhale. And perhaps that softness is somewhere really simple, like the legs or the hands or the arms, or maybe it's somewhere more subtle, a little muscle in the face, in the jaw. We're going to take just 3 more breaths here. Next breath, take an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Releasing the hands placed on the earth, bending into the knees, slowly lowering the sit bones down to the earth. We'll take a moment just to pause here so the head can be above the hips. And then we'll come to sit down on the earth and we'll find our rebound, which is our neutralizing posture. Moving any props out the way in our rebound, we're going to stay in just for 1 minute. And it's our lying flat on the earth, our Shavasana. And our rebound is always equal. Supported, steady, grounding. You are completely held here, so allow your body to be held. Can you invite a softness or a slightly deeper breath? And bringing a little movement into the body. Gonna find our way back up to a seat. Now our next posture is our child's pose. So this could be without props, or we could bring a pillow or a bolster in between the legs. The knees are going to come wide and we're going to lean forwards over the bolster. Hands can come all the way down wherever feels comfortable. Either side of the bolster perhaps. One cheek comes, or maybe the forehead. But lying yourself down. As you get there, we'll take our breath together. Take an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Closing the mouth, we settle in. Settle into this stillness. As the rise and fall of the body as you breathe is all there is. If your head is facing one way, gently lifting the chest and placing the other cheek down on the bolster. to take just 3 more breaths here. Next breath we'll take together. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Placing the hands down on the earth to gently lift through the chest. We're going to roll the bolster off to one side. Our rebound this time is lying flat on our bellies. So coming to lie down. Hands can come either side of the body, wherever feels best. We come to lie flat on the earth. In our rebound, we are supported so that we can soften. And we'll come to place our hands on the earth to gently lift ourselves up. Now our next posture, we're going to start in our downward facing dog to find our way there. Now you can get your bolster close by or a cushion, because we might use it to prop ourselves up in a moment. So finding your way to your downward facing dog. We'll place the hands down on the earth, tuck the toes and lift the hips. And we'll take a moment here, pushing into the palms of the hands, grounding down through the feet, and the legs might be bent, and that's okay. But we are starting to lengthen through the backs of the arms, backs of the legs to make space. And yes, at this moment it is quite active, but it is only for a moment. Can you connect to the breath? Next breath, we'll draw the right leg up and back behind you. Draw the right knee to the right wrist. The shins coming to the earth. It's going to come at a diagonal. So the right foot's coming over to the left. We're going to come into our sleeping swan. So lots of ways we could prop this. My favorite at the moment is drawing a bolster tucked into the top of the left foot. So we have something to lie onto with your chest. If you feel that your hips are rocking off to the right and your bum is on the earth, we want to keep both hips facing the earth. So get another cushion or something rolled up, perhaps, and place it underneath the hips so it's really supported. And we'll come to lie over the bolster. And just as we did in our child's pose, we settle the right cheek to the bolster. And we start to invite this softening, and we'll deepen a breath to arrive. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. We settle in. And I'm going to stay quiet for most of this, so that you can go on your own inner journey. And the mind will naturally wonder, we wanted to do this. But occasionally drawing the awareness back to sensation in the body, such as the breath. As we come to about halfway, can you scan the body for any little points of tension, tightness? Take a deep breath, expanding through the body, and then softening with your exhale. Invite this softening, this grounding, this connection to the earth. Imagining roots traveling from your body down into the earth. Can you soften just a little more? We'll take just 3 more breaths here. Next breath we'll take together. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Placing the hands on the earth to lift through the chest. Tucking the back toes. We'll find our downward facing dog once again, shifting the right leg back, hips lift, downward facing dog. Taking a little pedal through the legs if you feel like you need this, and then settling in stillness, taking just a moment to notice the difference in sensations in the sides of the body. Often there's a sort of cooling sensation, a coldness to the hip we've been working with, our right hip. We simply notice, and then notice the sensation of the hands and the feet. With the next breath, we're going to draw the left leg up and back behind you. Draw the left knee to the left wrist, and we'll move the props over to the other side. So if you propped it up with the bolster on the left, we'll shift it over to the right. We'll move the back pillow over towards the left to prop up the left hip. And giving yourself time to really make this supportive for you. We'll come to find our leaning over the bolster. Perhaps placing the other cheek on the bolster. We'll begin to settle in and take our breath together. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Closing the mouth, we settle in. Feeling into the breath. Allowing a softening into the body. Maybe noticing if the mind has wandered at all. And gently guiding it back to sensation in the body, trying to find anywhere that perhaps we could soften just a little more. We're going to take just 3 more breaths here. Next breath we'll take together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Placing the hands down on the earth, lifting through the chest. Gonna come to find our downward facing dog. Hands to the earth, tuck the toes, lift the hips. And again, maybe you want to find that little pedal of the legs. Tiny bit of movement, then settle yourself into stillness. Drawing the awareness to the sensation underneath the hands and the feet. And we'll come to drop the knees down onto the earth, being careful to move any props or avoid the props. We're going to come to one more posture before we settle into our Shavasana. Now this today is our supported bridge pose, so it could be a bolster, maybe it's a pillow, maybe it's 2. And we're going to come to place it underneath the sit bone. So we'll bring it over to one side to begin as we come to lie on the back. And then shuffling it underneath the hips. And that's it. Slightly elevated hips, feet flat on the earth. The hands could be either sides of the hips or settled on top of the body. Whatever feels more grounding to you, a connection to self or connection to the earth. And as we arrive, we'll take our breath together. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Close the mouth. Allow the breath to find a rhythm in and out through the nose. We settle in. And perhaps right from the beginning you try to find any of those areas of tightness. Maybe it's somewhere really strange, like the bottom of the chin or the jaw, a tiny muscle in the back. Perhaps it's the fingertips, or a little furrow of the brow that you notice. And perhaps you start to deepen the breath, inviting it all the way into the belly. Signifying to the body that you are in a place where you can soften, where you can release and be held. as you scan the body once more, releasing one tiny muscle fiber at a time. We're going to take just 3 more breaths here. Next breath we'll take together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Placing the hands on the earth if they weren't there already. Gently pushing into the feet to lift the hips and move the prop out the way. We come to our rebound. Just a moment before we move into our full Shavasana. Allow the body to lie flat on the earth. We're going to come to move into our final resting posture, our Shavasana, so you could stay here. If you want to prop yourself up in any way, you could place a pillow underneath the backs of the legs, backs of the knees, or one that's quite nice to help us feel grounded is to place something on top of the body, a little bit weighty, and just allow it to be there. If you think you might get cold, perhaps it's a blanket laying on top of all of it. Take your time to settle in and to get cozy, because the next few moments are just for that. They really are deep rest, a place where we can settle, we can ground and be held. So give yourself that. Coming to lie down. Let's take 3 deep releasing, grounding breaths together to settle in. Deep inhale through the nose. Hold the breath at the top just for a moment. Suck in 1 more bit of air. Hold the breath. As you hold the breath, can you soften the body into the earth? Exhale through the mouth. Twice more, slow, steady inhale. Hold the breath. Suck in a little more air. Hold the breath, soften the body. Exhale through the mouth. Once more, slow, steady inhale. Hold the breath. Suck in one more bit of air. Hold the breath. Soften the body. Exhale through the mouth. Close the mouth. We settle in. Beginning to invite the breath to become a little deeper. And for now, that is all. Notice that sensation in the body. Perhaps notice the sensation of the earth beneath the body, inviting you to soften and be held in this moment, in this space. And invite the breath to become a little longer. And perhaps you start to move in other areas of the body just gently. A wriggle of the fingers, of the toes, maybe a reach of the arms over the head. Point of the legs long, taking a long, good, deep stretch. And rolling over to one side. Taking a moment, just a moment here to pause. And coming to find your way to a seat. And as you find your seat, keeping the eyes closed, if you can, just a tiny moment longer. Ground down through sit bones, restack and lengthen the spine. Encourage the shoulders to drop away from the ears. There's a softening through the face, the jaw. Placing one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly perhaps. or the hands on the legs, however you feel most called. Connecting to that simple, inner, steady rhythm. The feeling of the heart and the feeling of the breath. This state of simple being. Knowing this is enough. Let's take a breath together to close our practice. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Softening the eyes open, coming back to the room. Thank you so much for giving yourself this practice. These moments really are so special and so impactful. If we take time to resettle, reground in ourselves, then we share that outwards too. We can invite people, including ourselves, to know that we deserve our space here. And we don't need to hold so tight. Things don't have to be crazy all the time. We can create our own little inner sanctuary. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd love to hear in the comments. Share with anyone you feel might like, enjoy, need this practice perhaps. If you have any requests, let me know. Subscribe if you haven't already, or perhaps follow my Instagram, which is @_highest vibration. Share lots of high vibe content on there, including retreats all around the world where we practice lots of yin and other practices to help us ground and reconnect to self. From my heart to yours, take care. I hope to see you soon.